and um and then that way we make sure that we have the recording for each and every single person. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's call. Tonight we have a special guest, but before we even kick off tonight's call, I think it's important to really reflect on everything that has been taking place within the House of Legends community. You know, myself, Gabe, all the top leaders, we take the time to make sure that we set you guys up properly, we set you guys up efficiently to really go out there and really master the markets, really get incredible results in the trading markets, you know, with our trading plan. And if you guys have been paying attention, if you guys have been watching what's been taking place, guys, today in the morning, we set up the markets on fire for each and every single person. You know, we're really taking the time to make sure that everybody's equipped to get the results that they need in their trading accounts. We had over 2,000 pips with NAS 100. We had over 500 pips with SPX 500. We have over 1,000 pips with Bitcoin. And Arabella sent 2 to 3 trades that went ahead and smashed TP2, TP3, TP4, and TP5 right on her trading channel. So I think it's safe to say that the results are here and we're providing people results within the trading plan with the educators that we've really set everybody in within the House of Legends. So I think it's important to really acknowledge, to really reflect, right, on all the type of results that we've been able to have as a community, right, as a movement here within the House of Legends. And I just want to know who's been making money this morning, this past week with our trading plan. Drop some money signs in the chat if you've been making money, if it's a demo, if it's a live account, whatever it looks like. I want you to drop some money signs in the chat because I want to know who's been following the trading plan, especially after the calls that we had last week, to make sure that everybody is properly equipped to be trading in the market. So drop some money signs in the chat if you guys have been making money, right, with our trading plan, with everything that we've been able to provide with you guys. I know Marvin has been making money. I know definitely Josh Randolph has been making money, right, with every single educator that has been providing these results and these trade alerts, right, for everybody to be able to capitalize in the markets. But guys, tonight is a very special night because there's not too many times that we really have people come on here and really pour out from a filled cup, right? From a place where they've been able to speak out of experience. And tonight we have somebody that's a VP of the Akashics community. And something that I really like to talk about and to really honor him in is there's not a lot of people that I can talk very, very highly of. And I've known of this individual for a while, but I've been watching him, guys. I've been watching this individual for the past 30 days. And obviously we became a merger company called ConnectX, right, in the past couple of weeks. And I've been observing how he's been leading, you know, throughout chaos, throughout problems. And this is somebody that has been able to always provide solutions, is always there to put the people first, is always available to answer questions. And that just sparked a fire in me because there's not a lot of people that can step up when a lot of things aren't going right. And I've seen this individual. A lot of people can step up when things are going great. A lot of people can step up when things are going, you know, amazing. But it takes character for somebody to step up and be like, hey, things are merging right now. Things are happening right now. And he's like, let me step up and let me make sure everybody's in good hands. His communication was very high. His character was very high. But even more importantly, his positive mental attitude was very high. And that's something that I respect at a very, very high level, because when I look at leadership, I look at not just somebody's work ethic, but I also look at somebody's character in the midst of problems being happening, you know, in certain situations. And if you guys don't know this individual as well, I want you guys to know some of you guys have been trading with Arabella. She's a beast. She's been able to help so many people in the community get incredible results. This is somebody that has brought an educator like Arabella to the table for people like you and I to be able to make money on a daily basis in the markets. Like, I want you to understand, without this individual, we would not have a trading plan. We would not have an easy. I was talking to an individual earlier today. Her name is Christina. Hopefully she's on the call. And she tells me, Anthony, I absolutely love Arabella's Academy. I'm absolutely understanding everything. I jump on her live sessions. I understand what she's talking about. I understand how to layer now. I understand how to execute trades now because she's made everything so clear. So I want you to understand the caliber of an individual that has been able to put together an incredible system for you and I to go out there and not just win very big in the trading markets, to be able to go out there and really impact people's lives at a high level when it comes to introducing this to people so we can be a blessing from a blessing. I think one of my favorite Bible verses is it's much more blessed to give than it is to receive, right? I think, we can receive a whole lot in the trading markets just like today, but I think the real fulfillment and the real blessings, the blessing comes from generosity. It comes from when we become a blessing to other people, right? And this individual has been able to go ahead and hit the very top tier pinnacle income levels in this profession where you guys are going to learn from a seven-figure income earner that has I know I've heard and I've seen how much this individual has made. I'm not going to talk about that here on this call because I think what's more important is the heart that he carries for other people to win. He cares a lot more for Damien, Adam, Ryan, Zion, Kamal, for them to be able to step into a winning atmosphere than for him to be like, man, I'm gonna go be at the very top. He's a servant leader, and I think his identity really speaks a whole lot of volume for everybody that's on here. So I'm very honored to have Mr. Ali here on the call, the VP of Sales in the Akashics community. He's taking the time to be here with us today, and I think the best thing that we can do is, yes, be very attentive, be very aware, but I think even greater is saying, hey, I'm going to take action. I'm going to take 2 to 3 things that Ali's talking about here on this call. And the best way to show honor is to go out there and do the things that he's providing you with. That everything that he's showing you what to do, everything that he's pouring out from a filled cup is, hey, I'm going to do everything, or I'm going to pick 2 to 3 things that I'm going to go take action on. And I feel like that's the best way that you can show honor to someone, right? Outside of just being attentive here on this call. So Ali, we honor you, man. We're grateful for you. We're so thankful that you are here on this call. You can take it away. You can close out the call. You can rip a fire in us here tonight. We are here to receive. We are here to learn. And we are here to be able to listen to everything that you got to say. So I'm going to make you co-host and you can take it away, my brother. Let's go ahead and drop some fires in the chat for my brother Ali before he comes up on here. Let's set the atmosphere right. Let's bring some energy for my brother Ali. Drop some fires in the chat if you are excited to hear from the VP of Sales. Ali, take it away, my brother. We love you.
Bro, I appreciate that. Incredible. Thank you so much for all those kind words, bro. I know we've only known each other for a short period of time, but really the same could be said about you and your leadership. I've watched you, go through quite a bit of adversity just in the last, few months, and just the way you've carried yourself and your leadership. It needs to be spoken about. And every single person on this call that's connected with Anthony, that's come through this HOL leadership and in this community, you guys are really in a position where you're around the right people. At the end of the day, yes, people join network marketing so that they could better their lives and so that they could make more money, but it really matters who you partner with and what those people really stand for. And what we see out of Anthony is super consistent. No matter what is going on in his life, he's, always staying consistent to his non-negotiables. He's very close to his faith. He's very close to his team. He's very close to his community. And that's what really matters. So all the other stuff that comes after that, like the income, the recognition, the edification, all that is secondary to who we are as people and how we carry ourselves as human beings. So I appreciate you, bro. I wasn't expecting an edification like that. So thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. And shout out to everybody on this call joining here on a Monday. You guys could be doing a million different things right now, but you're here to better yourself, to better your financial future. And that to me is a big responsibility. So I want to touch on that. But also, I saw how much you guys really, are tapped into Arabella. So I think maybe I need to reach out to Arabella, and we probably need to do an Arabella training for the squad. So if you guys want me to get Arabella on a call with you guys, drop a 777 in the chat box so we can get that dialed in. I think that'll be huge for the community, and she'll be so happy to do that. She's like one of us, she's all about the people and the community and how people can win. So we could definitely dial that in. But let's talk a little bit about the training today and what we really want to talk about with you guys. So I made a couple notes here just so I could stay on track because sometimes, guys, when I do trainings, I get so into it that I forget what I'm even talking about. So let me just pull up my notes here and we'll get this thing ripping. So the first thing is, um, I just want to make sure that everybody here has a game plan, right? So number one, Ant has told me you guys have a goal as a community to create 100 senior consultants in your guys' organization. I think that's absolutely important. That's a great goal. I love it. And that's a great place to start. But it's not just understanding what that means. What does it mean to create 100 senior consultants? Why that's important, right? Um, we need to talk about why building a team creates actual long-term residual income, what that means. And I want to give you guys a very practical like game plan for the next 72 hours, like what you guys can do, like literally to take action off the back of this call. So that's my goals today. Like I want to make sure you guys fully understand what this means to you and how we can accomplish this goal of creating 100 $600 a month earners. Now, you might think $600 a month isn't a lot, but the reality is the average American doesn't have $500 saved in a bank account for a basic emergency. So, being able to give somebody $600 in the richest country in the world is actually a huge impact. And you're actually creating much more impact focusing on that than trying to focus on anything else because you really don't know what people are going through, right? When you get on Zooms and you talk to people and you're prospecting them, how deep are you actually going? Are you understanding like their pain points, what's going on in their life? A lot of times you'll hear people in our industry get on a Zoom and say, look, like if you can't afford the $149 or the $250 to get started here, you need this opportunity more than I do. That might come off as arrogant, but the reality is that's so true. Somebody who doesn't have three figures to invest in themselves needs this more than somebody who can go buy 10,000 memberships in a day. Does that make sense, guys? I just want to make sure you're understanding the framework when you're actually speaking to people. So, the reason that you guys want to create this vision of 100 senior consultants, it's we're not really chasing a title or recognition. We're building 100 leaders who can impact thousands of families. That's the goal. So we want to create, once somebody becomes a senior consultant, we have to make sure that that individual understands that they've entered a level of leadership, and every new level unlocks new devils. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that every senior consultant represents leadership and growth. Okay. Promotions are a byproduct of helping people win. So when someone becomes a rank, okay, whether that rank is senior consultant, executive consultant, marketing director, vice president, it doesn't matter what the rank is. Whenever that person hits that rank, that is a byproduct of helping people in their community win. So what we need to focus on is helping people win. That's it. That's all you have to do. In order for you to crush it in network marketing, you just have to go out there and help as many people win in the game, and you will be rewarded for it. Okay. So the goal isn't just personal production alone, it's about creating duplication. And Maddie has spoken at great length about the G2 system to actually help people create the duplication. And that training lives there. And I'm not about to give you guys that training, it's there. You could go back and watch it, but that training is fire to give you guys what you need in order for you to create duplication. So what I don't want to do is I don't want anyone on this call to go get 12 people on their own. I want you to activate and engage the people who are currently in your organizations to have a goal of helping other people get their 12 to unlock that $600 a month. Okay. So a team of 100 senior consultants creates momentum that can change an entire organization. So when we have these big, huge goals, we want to make sure that we're thinking bigger. So if you're on this call right now and you've committed to the process, I don't want you to just think about the process from a perspective of I'm going to make $600 a month. You need to look past that $600 a month. You need to be saying, okay, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to hit the rank of, let's just say, vice president. Okay. Let's say you want to hit vice president in this company. Does anybody know how many people you need in your organization to basically become a vice president? Does anybody know?
They
It's
probably don't.
2,000, right? You need 2,000 people to do that. Okay. So if you're going to do 2,000 people in your organization, how many senior consultants do you need? You need 166 senior consultants. How do I know that? Because I know you need 12 people to hit the rank of senior consultant. 12, 2,000 divided by 12 is 166 people. Call it 167. But that's all you need, 167 people in your group to go out there and actually hit that metric. So when we hit the 100 senior consultants, we're on our way to being in a VP organization. Because when you're in this industry, you shouldn't just be building for your rank. You have to be building through your rank to make sure that when I get on calls and I'm showcasing the plan to other leaders and people in different companies, when I bring Ant on the call, and I'm going to introduce him. I want to tell people that I'm in a VP. Like my upline is a vice president of the company. I'm in a vice president organization. That right there is going to edify that process so much more and make such a bigger impact on the entire ecosystem. So first, you have to understand that categorically, in order for you to accomplish any of these goals, you need to have the proper mindset. Most people want the results without becoming the person you need to be in order for you to accomplish these things. So, first, you have to ask yourself, as a senior consultant, if you're not there yet, it's okay. So, let's talk to you for a second. Those of you on this call who don't have a senior consultant organization, you have to ask, well, you should think like this, right? You need to ask, who can I help? How can I develop leaders? And how can I duplicate myself? I want you to think about the last thing. How do I duplicate myself? How do I create more Gabes and Ants in my organization? How do I create more Ali Salehs in my team? Instead of how much money can I make this week? What's in it for me? Because the reality is, like I said, your rank and whatever you are recognized as is a byproduct of how many people you impact. Point blank, period. It stops right there. So you have to take ownership through this process. If you commit to Ant that you're going to go out there and you're going to work your tail off to get to that level, you have to do it. You cannot have an excuse. Like, it's so easy to make excuses in 2026. You could just literally go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I need to bail on this call. Write me a 2-page, like 2 sentences that I could send my upline to cancel this call. And that's the reality. Like, that's what's going to happen, right? You're going to bail on your upline. You're going to bail on the decision that you made by creating an excuse. You can't wait. You cannot say, oh, today's Monday. I'm going to start next week. I'm going to start next Tuesday. Perfect example. Like, I actually found a new gym that I really, really like. I showed the gym to my brother. Yesterday, my brother texted me and he said, bro, let's go look at this gym. And you have no idea, guys, how badly I did not want to go. And I even texted him and said, bro, I'm so busy today. I can't make it. I have all these calls. And then something inside me just didn't sit right. I said, bro, I'm making an excuse. I called my brother. I said, bro, I'm tired. I'm busy, but like, let's meet at the gym. I want to check out this facility. And it's something small like that that makes a big difference. So we can't make excuses. We can't wait. We have to do that. We can't blame the prospects. We can, oh, these people don't have money. They're broke. You have to figure out ways to find the money, talk to people and figure out what's important for you. How much impact do you want to make in your life? And what can we do to help you get there? So activity solves all your problems. Like I said on the call on Sunday last night, you're literally paid in direct proportions to the problems you solve. So if somebody comes to me and tells me they don't have money, my goal is to be like, okay, well, how can I help you find the money? You know, when I was in sales, I'll never forget. I worked at Dish Network. It was an inbound call center. We did not have a callback number. We did not have an email. So when clients would call me, when they would call in and they would get transferred to me, I would basically get them through the qualification process. And when it was time for them to pay, people would say, I don't have money. I used to make people go knock on their neighbor's door and ask their neighbor if they could borrow their debit card. I'm not even kidding, because at the end of the day, once that lead was done, I had a qualified person on the phone. If I didn't do everything in my power to get that person to find the money right then and there, that person would leave. And what are the chances of them calling back in and getting to me? Nearly zero. So you guys have to understand that that is the same concept that exists here. If you can't create urgency and help people find solutions to their problems, you're not going to close people. Okay. And you have to understand that in network marketing, we're not trying to convince people. If somebody is sold on my vision and what we're creating here, then I need to get them across the finish line. I'm not focused on convincing someone who doesn't believe in themselves or believe in our system. I'm sorting through people. I'm getting through people. I'm messaging people. And I'm going to give you guys some tips on what you can say to people on this call for you to create that momentum in your organization. So The other thing you have to understand is when it comes to residual income, there's a big piece of that that most people miss. You have to build in order to create residual income. So, like, ask yourself a quick question. How many hours a week can you personally work, right? And most people will say they can work between 40 to 60 hours a week personally. So now let's think about this. If the average person can work 40 hours a week, how many hours can a team of 10 people work? I'm talking about max capacity, right? You're looking at 400 hours. So if Damien can put in 40 hours a week, but his team could put in 400, then what does Damien have? Damien has an opportunity to duplicate himself 400 hours a week. Think about that for a second. 400 hours a week through the power of duplication. So you don't want to work alone. You don't want to be like the guy who doesn't want to extend olive branches. You don't want to be the person who doesn't ask for help. You don't want to be the person who doesn't help your people. You don't want to be the person who like scoffs at your downline's questions. When you bring someone new into the business, they're going to be redundant. They're going to ask you the same questions over and over and over again. But you have to be really good at being patient and trust the process. Like pour into people. Give people a chance to prove to you that they're not the one. I don't give people a chance to prove to me that they are the one. I give people a chance to prove to me that they're not the one. So I will give every single person, like when Arabella came into our business, I gave her the same opportunity that I gave to every other person that came into my business. It's very simple. Every single person that came into my business and comes into my business gets the same exact chance. I'm not going to judge you and say that you're going to do great. I'm not going to judge you and say that you're going to do bad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the same chance to have my energy and my time. And I'm going to give that to you. But then after 60 days, if you're proving to me that you're not the person who deserves to take this thing to the next level, then I'm going to eventually back off of you. So we have to make sure that we're duplicating and giving those people what they need. So if one person helps five people and those five people help five more, now you have 25 people in your organization that are producing. Now, if 25 people are producing and they create that same process, it's going to take it to 125 people, then 625 people. The goal is not to do everything on your own. The goal is to create duplication. So if you're asking yourself, how do I create residual income? You create residual income through building. So you actually physically have to go out there and build your damn business. And it's as simple as that. Now, a lot of people don't like, okay, when we get to this part of the training, this is a full like one-on-one conversation. Like forget that there's 31 people on this call. Just pretend I'm talking to you directly. All right. So most of you guys are brand new to the network marketing industry. And I love that. I think that that's actually amazing. Right. And some of you have some experience. Some of you are subject matter experts. But specifically in network marketing, why do people join this industry? Why should people build? And the reality is, it's very, very simple. Most people want more time freedom. Most people want more income. Most people want more options. They want less financial stress in their life, and they want a better future for their family. Now, if I get on a call with Ryan and I'm prospecting him, and he tells me he's tired of being broke, busted, and disgusted, he's tired of not having enough money to take his family where they want to go, he's tired of working 50, 60 hours a week building someone else's dreams, and he's just unhappy with his current life situation. To me, that is the perfect person that I can work with because they've told me everything that I can help them with. You understand what I'm saying here? Like this person just got on a Zoom with me and told me that they're very unhappy with their situation. So this is two things. Number one, it shows me that Ryan is somebody who needs help, which is great. And he has no ego. He has no ego. He's not over here telling me that, he's got everything figured out and he's making all this money. He's literally being vulnerable and saying, bro, like I'm hurting. I need your help. Like I need someone to help me. So that's great. That identifies somebody who needs help. But the second thing that does is when Ryan tells me he's going to show up to the call and he doesn't, that he's going to invite five prospects to the opportunity call and he doesn't, I could go back to Ryan very easily and say, bro, 2 weeks ago, we just spoke and you told me that you're unhappy with your current financial situation, but your actions are telling me otherwise. So like, I'm here to hold you accountable, bro. And what you just did is not just disrespectful to me, but more importantly, you've just disrespected the commitment that you've made to this process. So what are we even doing here? So you need to understand who people are and what their story is. Okay. So establish everyone's why. Figure out why they're doing this business, what's important. And it shouldn't just be like, oh, I want to help my family. I want to retire this. I want to do that. I want to do that. No, figure out what's actually going on in their life. How can I help people build their dream life if I don't know what their biggest fears are? If I don't know my people's story, how can I help them win? I need to know when you were in the gutter. I need to know when you were broke. I need to know when you were in financial trouble or legal trouble. I got to know what your struggles are so that I can help you at the highest level. Okay. Now, what building does for that person is it gives them leadership skills, consistency, momentum. The more signups and enrollments that they get, the harder they'll work. Because when you're in momentum and when you're winning, you can't stop that. It's going to continue to go. Ant said at the beginning of this call, you can judge people not when things are going great, but when things are going sideways. Okay, let's just say for like seasoned leaders, that's the truth. But the average person in the industry needs things like we need to make sure that we're in momentum so that they can continue to see what's in it for them. So, but building gives them leadership skills, communication skills, confidence, and additional income and a long-term vision. That's all we're crafting here is we're just giving people the chance to plug in, set in, and build something great. So now, one of the most effective ways to recruit 6 people in 72 hours. I want to go over this with you guys. It's super important. I took some notes here, so I want to make sure we're all on the same page. So this part of the call, guys, you really, really need to lock in and take notes. So what I want every single person on this call to do, all 30 of us, is I want every single person to write down 6 in 72. Okay, 6 in 72. So the first thing I need you to do is I need you to make a dream list. Okay, a dream list doesn't mean dream people that you want to work with. This is your dream list. This is going to get your dream started. I need you to make a list of 50 people, not 10, not 20. I need 50 names on that piece of paper. I need friends, family members, coworkers, business owners that you know, gym contacts, social media contacts. I don't care. I need you to put 50 bodies on a list. Okay, guys, drop a 1 in the chat box if you're tracking me. So 6 in 72. And we're the step 1 is we're going to make a list of 50 people. Okay. 50 people. The second thing that we're going to do, guys, and this starts from today after this call, at 8 p.m. is when the 72 hours starts. The second thing we're going to do, guys, step 2 is we're going to contact 20 to 30 people a day. And we're going to literally send them a very simple message. And it's going to say, I'm expanding a project and looking at a few people who are ambitious and coachable. Are you open to taking a look? Super simple message. Like, it doesn't get any more simple than this. Very direct, very straightforward, because in network marketing, we're not closers. What we are is we're professional sorters. If you look at some of the top people in ACN, okay, a lot of my mentors, a lot of people I listen to and I follow, I listen to their trainings every single day, even till right now. A lot of them talk about how once they became professional sorters, their businesses were able to duplicate like crazy because they were working with people who were like-minded, but they had to go through all the no's to get to the yeses. And even when they got to the yeses, it took them some time to find their aces. But you're going to want to make sure that you just funnel through people. And then you want to keep it super simple. And you're going to use third-party validation. Anybody here familiar with the PS3 method? Peak interest, show them the business, get them on a 3-way call. I don't want anyone on this call doing any of the selling. I don't want you to be the one presenting the opportunity. I don't want you to be the one trying to explain ConnectX. I don't want you to be the one trying to explain Arabella. I don't want you to be the one to explain Tap to Trade. I don't want you to do any of that. All I want you to do is be like you know how they call it a passenger princess? I just want you to be a recruiting princess. Go out there and talk to as many bodies as you possibly can. That's all you have to do. You got to get a couple yeses who want to agree to doing a call. Those people agree to do a call. You get them connected with your leaders. You show them the plan. Your uplines and your leaders will either send them a video or get them on a call. Once they get them on a call and they onboard them, we're going to do the same process with them. We're going to launch their business in their first 72 hours. And we're going to get them to make a list of 50 people. And we're going to get them to invite 6 people. And then we're going to do that with their 6 people. Do you see where the duplication is going here, guys? Like, this could be never ending as long as every single person on this call agrees to do what they're supposed to do, it'll get done. It's not rocket science. This is actually a copy and paste strategy that works. All you have to be willing to do is the work. So use third party validation, get prospects in front of your leaders, make sure they're in front of opportunity presentations and successful team members. You don't want to explain everything yourself. If someone tells you, yeah, I'm open to taking a look, what is this? That's great, amazing. I'm going to schedule a private call with you to show you everything. Or I have an opportunity, I have a presentation tonight that I'm explaining. There's going to be hundreds of people on this call. I need you to check it out. It's very, very simple. Now, once you've done that, you need to follow up with people, but not follow up with them next week, tomorrow. I need you to follow up with them fast. You need to qualify that lead ASAP. You do not need to wait 3 days, 2 days. It's hot. I want to figure out what's going on right away. Did you watch the video? What did you like? And basically what I do is I always tell people, like, if I'm sending someone a 10-minute video, I will text that person in 11 minutes and say, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, what did you think? I don't ask them, are you done? I don't ask them, are you on? Did you get on? No. I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think? And most people would either say 5, 6, 7, or 8. And whatever number they say, you just tell them, wow, that's amazing. That's higher than most people usually say. What did you like the most? Are you guys following me? They're either going to give you a 5, 6, 7, or 8. They're never going to give you lower than a 5 because they don't want to disrespect you. They're never going to give you more than an 8 because they don't want you to think that they're locked in. So you're going to ask them, wow, that's higher than most people say. What did you like the most? And then once you figure out what they like the most, you just call them. And then you say, that's amazing. That's actually the one thing I liked the most when I started here. Based off of everything you heard, can we go ahead and get everything set up for you tonight? And the moment we get you set up, we're going to do an onboarding call. I'm going to show you how you can use the entire back office. I'm going to get you connected. I'm going to show you the blueprint. It's very, very simple. You want to create urgency, okay? So simple things like, if this makes sense, can we start right now? Or it's 249. Do you have that in your bank right now? Let's go ahead and plug your card number into the system. You want to assume the sale. You want to assume that the individuals are going to join your business. People move only when they see a reason to move. If, like, you got to think about how you got started in this business. If the person who got you started in this business wasn't on your behind, and Ant is the best at this. I'm sorry, but like, I see Ant everywhere. He's super active and he's like literally in every chat. He's always on top of everything. Why do you think that is? Because obviously Ant has made multiple 6 figures in this industry. He's an incredible leader and he knows what it takes to get to the next level. But the reason why he's showing out is not because he needs to. He's showing out and doing all that work because he hopes that his leadership attracts to at least a few of you on this call. And if he can create 4 or 5 more individuals on his team that match his energy, guess what? Now you guys have such a winning community. And you guys will have thousands of people making money with you every single day with affiliate commissions, with trading profits. Think about all the IRL, the in real life events that you guys can do, traveling the world, going around with the community that you've worked so hard to build, being able to, fly first class and go to different countries and do events in different places and go on these really nice vacations and being able to create multiple success stories all across the world. So I don't need to show you what urgency looks like. You have that every single day. I'm in the chats, guys. I see Ant every day, sends a great morning message, a positive affirmation. He pours into you guys. You are not going to find an upline like that. You're not. I don't do that. I don't. And what you see in that man right there, if 5 of you on this team just picked up his leadership, it's crazy what would happen in this team. But you know what I see instead? I see Ant sending that message, and I see the same 2 to 3 people responding. But iMessage is so whack nowadays, you can react to people. So instead of people actually just saying, hey, thank you so much for the good morning message, somebody will heart it. Bro, the man is sitting there writing a message, pouring his heart and soul into his community, and you're going to react? Say one more thing. Say something. Say thank you, bro. Even if you're not going to build that day, if you feel terrible, if it's a day where you just don't want to do anything, but you see that message, respond and say, I'm grateful for you. I appreciate you. We're going to make it big in this world. I promise you. I know I'm with you and I'm going to go far with you. And that's not because you're going to make Ant feel better. Subconsciously, that's going to make you better. Subconsciously, what's going to happen is now the universe and God are going to reward you with people in your community that are just like you and just like Ant. So the reality is, guys, is if it's going to happen, it's completely up to you. The people who win in this business, guys, aren't necessarily the most talented people. They're seriously the most consistent people. They're the people who come in every single day and work regardless of what's happening. Every senior consultant started with one simple conversation with one customer, with one client, with one prospect, and had one decision to stay committed to the process. All I want you guys to do right now is just lock in for the next 72 hours and find the 6 people whose lives could change because of one conversation. So all you have to do right now is build your list of 50 people tonight. Reach out to 30 people tomorrow, schedule 10 exposures, complete 5 follow-ups, and personally recruit at least 3 people minimum before the next team call, which I don't know when that is, but we have 72 hours, guys. We have 72 hours for you guys to decide to lock in and go all in. So I just want everyone on this call to understand that it does not take a very special person to become a leader. You just have to decide, and then you have to fail and fail forward. You're not going to sound good when you first start. You're not going to sound good. I'm telling you right now, if you have not done a Zoom yet, if you haven't done a leadership training, if you haven't been on a call with your community yet, if there's things that you haven't done yet, I promise you, when you start to do it, you're going to suck. And guess what? You're going to suck until one day you don't, because it never becomes easier. You only become better. So if you want to make that positive change in your life, and if you want to become that person, build that list, go through the next 72 hours like a savage, and let's create the momentum we need to start that catalyst to 100 senior consultants. I don't want you guys to pay attention to any negativity, what's going on here, left, right, center. That's what your leaders are for. I want you guys to be delirious. I want you guys to run like your life depends on it, just ignorance on fire. I don't know all the information. All I know is what we got works. It's impacted me. So I'm willing to go show this to hundreds of people all across the world. Make that list of 50 people, reach out to 30 people starting tomorrow, and let's take this thing to the next level. I appreciate you guys like crazy. Ant, bro, thank you so much for inviting me to this call, bro. I appreciate you so much. It's been an honor, bro. And what we're doing right now is like a scratch in the surface of what we're going to be doing, in the next 3 to 6 months. So I appreciate you all. And I'll pass it back over to you, my bro.
Bro, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything that you just, spoke into us on this call. Everybody, let's just drop a thank you on the chat box real quick. Let's thank Ali for coming on here for the past hour and absolutely crushing. I was sitting, Gabe just stepped out real quick, but Gabe was like, bro, this guy is on fire. This guy is absolutely crushing this call. And then I just got personal text messages from Paul, and he's like, bro, Ali is on fire right now, bro. So Ali, we're so grateful for you, bro. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for just being able to be available for everybody. It just shows your heart. It shows a lot about your leadership. It just shows a lot about who it is that you are as a person and as a leader, man. So we're so grateful for you. If you can just do one last thing, maybe in like 1 minute. I know you got to go. I know you're stacked with calls. I'm just gonna share this comp plan picture really quickly. Because I feel like just a lot of people may not even really know, like, what is this bonus table? What is this comp plan? But bro, you absolutely ripped this call. So I was gonna go over it after you were done, but just because you absolutely crushed it, if you could just for the next 60 seconds just kind of break this thing down. And some people are on here like 6 and 72 hours. What do I gotta do? Like, what does this mean? If you can just kind of simplify that for them, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So look, I want to give you guys a little bit of backstory. So this compensation plan, guys, this plan is called a wealth plan. Okay. And there were some companies in the past who've done compensation plans like this, but they did it with three legs. Okay. I was in a company in 2022 where we were the first brand to drop the wealth plan in two legs. I just want to let you guys know we put 47,000 people in that company. We're doing like $9 million a month in sales. Why? This is the easiest, most duplicatable compensation plan on planet Earth. All you have to do is just go build your team left and your team right. The old MDC comp plan that I built on with Maddie and these guys, there was 8 different ways to get paid. It took me 3 months to understand the comp plan. I didn't even know how it worked. I just looked at Maddie one day and said, bro, I'm never going to figure out how this comp plan works. So all I'm going to do is do what I know how to do and build, and eventually I'll figure it out. You guys don't have to worry about any of that chaos. All you have to do right now to become a senior consultant is just put 6 people in your team left and 6 people in your team right. That's it. You're making $600 per month in comparison to like in the old MDC compensation plan, the Akashics comp plan, sorry, you needed to have 20 people in your organization for you to make $250. Did you guys hear what I said?
That's crazy.
$250, right? Or 600, but now you need 12 people versus 20. Now let's take it a step further. To make $1,000 a month here, you need a team of 30 people in your organization. To make $1,000 a month in the old Akashics comp plan, guys, you needed to basically have a team of almost 60 people in order for you to do that. To make an organization that pays you $2,000 a month, here you need 70 people, 35 on your left, 35 on your right. And that basically puts you in a position where you make $2,000. In order for you to make $2,400 in the old Akashics comp plan, guys, you needed 120 people, 60 on your left and 60 on your right, to go ahead and make $2,400 per month. Every single person has an easier chance at making more much faster with this comp plan. So let's look at the marketing director rank, right? That pays $2,000 a month, $500 a week. Think about for a second what an extra $500 a week can do for you. But you basically need 70 people in your organization. All you really need is to create 6 people in your group that are senior consultant. That's all you have to do. You literally just have to go out there. And I could tell, like, imagine if Ant was joining my organization and I just did this fast start training with him to get him to launch his business in 72 hours. I'm going to tell Ant, bro, I'm running with you. So every person that I bring in, I'm going to drop on your right leg. So imagine you go and you find 9 people that are ready to join, but I also had 5 people that were ready to join. Bro, I could literally put the 5 on your right and you could put the 9 on your left. And bro, you will be a senior consultant very quickly. So spillover will also count towards your rank. So when you look at this industry and you say network marketing, you're not in business. Like, you might be in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself, right? You have a community that's helping you win, but you also have the opportunity to work with the people who invited you here and work with them so you can build that momentum and create those success stories together. So guys, I look, 6 and 6 to make 600 is crazy. I love it. I think it's such a game changer. And if you're an affiliate, that should fire you up. Like, every person that hits senior consultant should be celebrated like they hit icon in the company, because without the senior consultants, we'll never create an icon in this company. So you guys need to understand that that is your core rank. That's what you want to run towards. And it's honestly not that hard for you to be able to move the needle forward in the right direction to get to that pay plan. So every rank that you see here, like whatever that big rank is, just divide how many people you need by 12. And that's how many senior consultants you need to create in order for you to get to where you need to go. So, guys, this is ridiculous. It's like the craziest, most simplified comp plan in the world. And I don't say that to, if you're confused about certain things, I'm not trying to like offend you by saying it's so easy, anybody can do it. What I'm saying is this is the most simplified model that you can find, and it works. It's proven time and time and time and time and time again that these compensation engines are the best for affiliates. So go out there, get inspired. I mean, Ant, I'm sure there's probably more you want to add to that, bro. Go ahead. By all means, be my guest.
No, I think you covered it so perfectly. I think the only thing I would just probably add is something that you just don't know, but 90% of people on this call already at least have 6 people on their team, which is crazy. So if I go through each person's back office, like let's say I go through Paul, I go through Gabe, I go through Jay, Justin Rice, I go through Joshua Randolph, I go through Kamal, I go through Kimwall, I go through Marvin, I go through Nick, I go through Paul, if I go through their back office, 90% of people at least have 6 people on one team. So just like how Ali explained, if you just go get six, he said, hey, it's 12 people for you to make 600 a month. If you just get 6 people, you are already a senior consultant because you have that spillover from the person that sponsored you into the business. So at least 80 to 90% of people are already qualified for 600 a month. So what are you saying, Ant? If you do everything that Ali just really broke down for you, you will 100% be at $600 a month. And something that I like what Ali said on the call was make a 50% list. I love how he said 50 because if you go 1 out of 10, you'll get your six. And 1 out of 10 is very low, right? I'm just going through through the number games, right? Like I gotta sort through numbers in order for me to find who I want. So if I go through 10 people, at least one will say yes. So if you have a list of 50, exactly what Ali just talked about, you'll get your six and you'll absolutely be a senior consultant in the next 72 hours. So that's pretty much just everything that I wanted to add, Ali. We appreciate you once again. Thank you so much for jumping on here. We're grateful as a community. I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for every single leader that is on here. Let's go out there and let's go proclaim. Let's go declare 100 senior consultants in the month of June. Drop a 100 in the chat box if you're ready to go ahead and become one of those 100 senior consultants in the House of Legends. Ali, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. Guys, we're going to have an overview tomorrow. We're also going to have an overview on Wednesday and on Thursday. So these are great times for you to be able to jump onto these calls, to be able to share the information with your guests, your VIP guests, your prospects, your potential new legends that are going to join your business. So guys, we love you. Let's have an incredible night. Thank you, Ali, once again. Let's rock and roll 100 senior consultants. I see everybody dropping 100 on the chat. It's already done. In the name of Jesus, it is done. We love you. We appreciate you. Love you guys. Let's have a blessed night. Let's go.